Okay, making pizza. Basically, just buy any kind of pizza dough, whatever's cheapest. I buy this at Walmart, 88 cents. Okay. When I buy it, I freeze it, and then the night before I want to make pizza, I just take it out of the freezer and put it in the refrigerator and let it thaw in the fridge overnight until I'm ready to use it. And then when I'm ready, I take it out about half an hour before to get it to room temperature so it's a little more pliable. So take some cornmeal. I find that it's better for crunchiness on the crust. Any kind of cornmeal, I happen to buy this one. That's the cheapest I found. Sprinkle some on the work area. Cover it both sides so that when you use your rolling pin, you don't have to, but I have a rolling pin. It doesn't stick, the dough doesn't stick to it. So, I also have a pizza stone that I put some cornmeal on so that it doesn't stick and it makes the crunchy crust underneath. So I'll just prep that as well. So, just basically roll out. If you're making a square, you can make it square. If you're making it a round pie, you roll it out round. It's not really a big deal. You just roll it out. It does spring back, so you have to really work the dough. And then sometimes what I do is I take it in my hand from the center and just pull it and turn and pull, so that at least you get your crust around the edge and semi-thin crust. If you want a thicker crust, you make it smaller. You get the idea. See, so it's getting bigger. So here we go. Okay, and just roll it to the size you want. Try not to make too much of a mess, so you have to end up cleaning it up. Okay, so now you put it on the pizza stone. Like so. Now today I'm making both vegetable and pepperoni meatball, because my son likes the pepperoni meatball and my husband likes the vegetable. So, okay, I have my condiments. One more. So, for the meat one, what I do is whatever pizza sauce you buy, you could have either pizza sauce regular tomato sauce that you've made, like a marinara sauce, or you could just buy anything from the store, because you're going to actually marinate and season what you've put on there. So, just basically, not too much because you don't want it soggy, and you just kind of, if you think you need more, just add more, but just roll it out to the edge, the sauce. I find that the store-bought sauce is easier, and you're going to add your own seasoning to it so it doesn't taste yucky. And I'm not a chef, so I just kind of figured this all out on my own. And it's not the water, because you buy any pre-made pizza dough and make it taste good. So don't let people fool you. It's not the water, and it's not what kind of dough that you buy. It doesn't have to be special. Okay, so that's a pizza, and I take garlic powder. My son loves garlic, so I just go all around. Parsley flakes. If you want to get fancy, you could use fresh parsley. I personally like the dry because it's easier. Just sprinkle it on there. As much or as little as you like. I find just to make it flavorful. A little bit of crushed pepper, just a little, because he likes the pepperoni. It's already hot. He doesn't like it too hot. But you could add however much crushed red pepper you like. This is dry oregano. Just as you're sprinkling it, what I do is I crush it in my fingers. I find that it becomes more flavorful as you crush it, because it's dry. I have dry sweet basil. You could use, in the summer I use regular basil from my garden, but it's winter, so we're using the dry. And again, just as you're sprinkling it, crush it between your fingers. A little bit of black pepper, just as much or as little as you like, and onion powder. You don't have to be afraid about the onion powder or the garlic powder unless you don't like onion and garlic. That's up to you. So that's that. Now I take whatever, either fresh or I have frozen mozzarella. What I do is I buy it in bulk and then I separate it and then I freeze it, and as I use it I just take it out of the freezer. I make sure that it's crumbly and I just sprinkle it on top first as a base. As much or as little cheese as you like. Today AJ's my son, he likes meatballs, so I just had some meatballs left over and I just cut them up. So I put them on here. And just go around, and he also wants pepperoni on it, so that's the next ingredient. The reason I started making pizzas on my own is because I found that, especially in Virginia, it stinks. It tastes like ketchup on an English muffin. And I'm not going to spend $14 on something that I don't like to eat. So I figured 88 cents is not a big deal, and just most time that it takes to make this pizza is heating up the oven. If you're going to do this right away, if you're going to bake it right away, then what you should do is preheat your oven to 500 degrees, as hot as you can get it. And it's only going to be in there for about 20 minutes or so, until you want the crust the way you want it. I like it crunchy. I don't like a half-done crust, so I leave it in there at least 20 minutes. Okay. So as you can see, I ran out of meatballs, but that's okay. So he wants pepperoni on it as well. So regular Hormel pepperoni. When I buy it, I freeze it, and then I just use it frozen. They pretty much come apart. As you can see, they're pretty pliable. So. And just put them on there like you like. So this one is a pepperoni meatball pizza, that's what we want. If you like a lot of pepperoni, put a lot. If you like a little, put a little. Just be careful because the pepperoni does get greasy and it does tend to leak in the oven, so if you have like an oven liner, that's good. So now what I do is I take some cheese. This is regular Parmesan. It's shredded. You just sprinkle it on top, just to add a little bit more flavor. If you want to add more cheese, you could do that. I'm going to use some of the fresh mozzarella. I cubed it up and just throw it on top. Then what I do is I take the edge of the, all this out of the way. Take the edge of the pizza dough and I fold it over to make like a handle when you're eating it. And it kind of sort of like a stuffed, because you could throw it over the ingredients as well. Just to make a little border. Just go around like that. And that's it. And this one's done. Okay, so this one is the pepperoni meatball. As you can see, I just took it out of the oven, so it's kind of still sizzling. So we're going to let it, see how it moves on the, that's what the flour thing was for. So anyway, it's going to cool down and then we'll eat it. Thanks.